The 12 zodiac signs are like 12 different operating systems for human personality, each with its own default settings, glitches, and hidden upgrades. Think of this as your brutally honest tour of every sign's trademark traits, told like a friend spilling tea, not a mystical instruction manual. Aries, the Ram, March 21st to April 19th. Aries is the friend who hears "don't do it" and treats it as a personal challenge. They charge into life like a ram smashing through a door, acting first and asking questions. Never. Courage? Off the charts. Patience? Practically non-existent. They thrive on adrenaline, competition, and being first at everything. First to volunteer, first to argue, first to fall in love. In love and friendships, they're fiery, direct, and weirdly inspiring. You'll suddenly find yourself taking risks you'd never even considered. Their temper flares like a match, loud and bright, but burns out quickly. 5 minutes after snapping, they're already planning the next adventure while everyone else is still processing what just happened. Taurus, the Bull, April 20th to May 20th. Taurus is the human version of do not disturb mode. Once they've decided it's a stay-home, snacks and series day, no force on earth can move them. Stubborn? Absolutely. But under that stubbornness is deep loyalty and solid values. They're ruled by comfort and quality, good food, soft fabrics, stable income, and relationships that actually last. They'll quietly outwork everyone to afford the life they want, even if they complain about it along the way. Upset them badly enough, though, and the calm cow turns into a raging bull, slow to anger but terrifying when pushed. The good news, once they forgive, they usually go right back to being your steady rock. Gemini, the Twins, May 21 to June 20. Geminis are like having two playlists on shuffle at once. Chaotic, hilarious, but never boring. One moment they're cracking jokes, the next they're dissecting life like a therapist with a PhD. Their superpower is adaptability. They can walk into any room and instantly match the vibe. Their weakness? Getting bored faster than a loading screen on bad Wi-Fi. Interests, opinions, and even friend groups can change at lightning speed. In relationships, they need mental stimulation and freedom to explore ideas. If everything feels predictable or emotionally heavy 24/7, they start mentally checking out long before they physically leave. Cancer, the Crab, June 21st to July 22nd. Cancer is the emotional weighted blanket of the zodiac. They're nurturing, protective, and the person you call when life falls apart at 2 a.m. They remember your important dates, your favorite comfort food, and exactly what you said 3 years ago when you were sad. Their emotions move like tides, gentle 1 minute, crashing the next. So being around them can feel like surfing, beautiful but intense. On the outside, they may seem guarded or moody. On the inside, they're all softness, nostalgia, and let's build a cozy life together. Once they trust you, they're in for the long haul. Leo, the Lion, July 23rd to August 22nd. Leos don't enter a room. They make an entrance. They're bright, loud, and allergic to being ignored. Compliments are their love language, attention is their natural habitat, and drama is just daily seasoning. But beneath the glitter is a huge heart. Leos are the first to hype you up, post your wins, or defend you when someone talks trash. They treat friends and partners like royalty. Gifts, grand gestures, big emotions, though they expect loyalty and appreciation in return. Get on their good side, and you've got a fiercely protective ally for life. Virgo, the Analyst, August 23rd to September 22nd. Virgos are the ones with color-coded notes. They notice everything, from your typo to the tiny shift in your facial expression. Their brain runs on fix and improve mode 24/7, which makes them incredible problem solvers but also brutally hard on themselves. They show love in practical ways, remembering your coffee order, organizing your chaos, proofreading your text before you send it. Grand declarations? Maybe not. Quiet, consistent effort? Always. They struggle with asking for help because they'd rather be the strong, reliable one than admit they're overwhelmed. Libra, the Diplomat, September 23rd to October 22nd. Libras are the peacemakers who can smooth over a screaming match with one well-timed joke and a disarming smile. They crave balance, harmony, and aesthetic perfection. Think perfectly arranged rooms, coordinated outfits, and playlists that fit the mood exactly. Decisions, however, are their personal boss battle. In friendships and love, they're romantic, fair, and partnership-oriented. They genuinely care that everyone feels heard. Just don't ask them, where should we eat? Unless you're ready for a full, courtroom-level analysis of every possible choice. Scorpio, the Enigma, October 23rd to November 21st. Scorpios are walking plot twists. Intense, private, and hyper-observant, they can read a room, or a person, like an open book while revealing almost nothing about themselves. Once you make it into their inner circle, they'll go to war for you. No questions asked. Betray them, and you'll discover what a grudge truly is. That depth also makes them fantastic investigators, therapists, or friends who just know something is off before anyone says a word. Being with a Scorpio feels like starring in a mystery movie where you never quite know what they've already figured out. Sagittarius, the explorer, November 22nd to December 21st. Sagittarius is the friend who invites you on a small trip, and suddenly you're backpacking across 3 countries with no return ticket. They're fueled by curiosity, freedom, and big questions about life. They love new places, new people, and new philosophies. Routine makes them feel trapped. They're also brutally honest. If you ask for an opinion, you'll get the unfiltered version, like it or not. But their warmth and humor usually soften the sting. In relationships, they need space and a sense of adventure, not constant check-ins and rules. Get on their wavelength, and life becomes a slightly unhinged, unforgettable road trip. Capricorn, the strategist, December 22nd to January 19th. Capricorns are the CEOs of their own lives, even if they're still in school or working their first job. They think in long-term timelines, savings, promotions, responsibilities, legacies. They're disciplined, patient, and quietly ambitious, willing to do the unglamorous work most people avoid. On the surface, they can seem serious or reserved, but once they relax, their dry humor and surprisingly wild side come out. In love, they're cautious but steady. They show care by planning, providing, and making sure everything is handled. They're the partner who'll help you fix your resume and remind you to bring a coat because the weather might turn. Aquarius, the visionary, January 20th to February 18th. Aquarius is the Zodiac's resident rebel inventor. They're drawn to big ideas, social causes, and anything that screams future. AI, space travel, new social systems. Emotionally, they can seem detached. Not because they don't care, but because they process life through logic and ideals more than raw feeling. They value independence, originality, and genuine weirdness. Telling them what to think is the fastest way to lose them. In relationships, they want a best friend and co-conspirator, someone who will debate, brainstorm, and try strange experiments with them. They may forget anniversaries, but they'll remember that random theory you mentioned 6 months ago. Pisces, the dreamer, February 19th to March 20th. Pisces is like an emotional sponge floating through life. They absorb the feelings in every room, often sensing other people's moods before those people do. Their imagination is a full cinematic universe. Art, music, stories, fantasies, they live in all of it. Reality can feel harsh, so they need regular escapes into daydreams, creativity, or quiet alone time. They're gentle, intuitive, and often a little otherworldly, like they're half here, half in some underwater fairy tale. In love and friendship, they're compassionate and deeply supportive, but they need boundaries or they'll drown in everyone else's problems. Used lightly, Zodiac traits can be a fun mirror to understand yourself and others. Just remember, they're tendencies, not strict rules.